Real moms with real advice for all your parenting questions this morning. Let's go ahead and meet today's panel of moms. We've got first mommy blogger of Oof, Stephanie Mullen. On the other side of Stephanie there, we have Dr. Rachel Goldenhar from the San Diego Psych Association. Right in the middle, we have Mary Burt Godwin of the Mama Mary Show. Good morning, ladies. Thank you. Once again, Stephanie, you specialize in teens. Rachel, you work with families, and Mary has the little ones. So we've got all points covered. Let's go ahead and get to our first viewer question.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and my daughter Michaela is 11 years old and just started 6th grade. The big discussion in our house right now is makeup and whether or not she's old enough to wear it, where she should start, tips on how to put it on. I just don't really know. If you could help me, that'd be great.
Makeup in the 6th grade. Okay.
Question. Yeah, well, I think that, well, first of all, girls today are pretty lucky because it's a much more natural approach, unlike our 80s style with all this makeup and blue and big hair and the blue eyeshadow. Yeah. But makeup should be something that is light, especially at the age of 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, even in high school. And we live in a community, obviously, where natural is kind of nice. And I think that it's important to let the girls explore it just a little bit. We talked earlier about clear mascara, light lip gloss. The thing is, if you don't let them, if you tell them no, they're going to do it on their way to school, and then you don't get to see the finished product or coach them through, you know, you don't need blue eyeshadow anymore. You can just put a little bit of, like a little blemish cover, a little light gloss.
Start with the gateway makeup.
Yeah,
the gateway
simple
lip gloss.
Yeah.
Mascara, blush.
What they naturally have.
And sometimes, like, you can use maybe the foundation to cover blemishes if they're starting to get that, but also some of the times makeup causes that and causes some skin damage. There's chemicals that little kids that have, younger kids that have skin, you know, fresh skin, they don't necessarily need a lot of makeup on it. But
yeah, and I mean, I think makeup is very cultural, and it's tied into our society, and it's very much, you know, it ties into our self-esteem too. I mean, it makes us feel good to have some makeup on as we're older. So girls are going to be noticing that, and they're modeling their moms and how much, you know, in your family, who's wearing makeup, and little girls like to play with makeup. So it's to be expected that you're going to see your preteen wanting to experiment with a little bit of makeup. And I think just having those conversations with your daughter and saying, you know, what is, you know, what do you know, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, what looks okay, what do you think, how do you feel about yourself, you know, do you need makeup, do you really need makeup, maybe not, you know. So
I remember in 6th grade somebody told me, don't pile on a bunch of makeup because the skin you have now, you're gonna wish you had later on. And I still remember that, and it's so true, because at the time I was like, well, whatever, but now okay, totally
and
true.
There's videos on YouTube actually with younger peers. If she wanted to show her daughter, go first and look at them first, but there's videos that talk kids through how to get the natural look and some of the products that are good for younger girls.
That's
go to search YouTube.
Okay, let's get to our next viewer question.
I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I was wondering, how do I get them to listen and follow directions better?
Mary, we'll have you start with that one since you focus on the little ones.
Okay, renting them. No. Well, I think, you know, really talking to them on their level, getting them to, you know, you listening to them and have them model your behavior, and really talking to them respectfully and getting, you know, you always hear this, but getting down to their level. Like, literally, if I want my daughter and I'm at a crowded place, I will walk over to her and go down and say, hey, Lex, you know, we need to talk about this. This is, you know, this isn't appropriate behavior. So we will leave. And you also have to follow through. If you threaten things, like I do that, say, if you don't have this behavior that I want you to have, you won't get cake at the next birthday party if there's something coming up. I've done that. I've actually had my kids not let them have cake at a birthday party. Because once you follow through.
Yes, well, I did it. We were at a play date at the park, and my son wasn't listening, and we left the play date at the park, and you know what? He remembered it, and he listens now every time after. So you really have to find a time where you can follow through with that consequence.
Yes.
So say, you know, if you don't, we need to, you know, put the toys away, or we need to share the toys, and I'm going to count to 5, and if you don't share the toys, we're going to have to leave right now. And if they don't follow through with that and they're really not listening, if you do follow through, guess what? They're going to remember next time.
Because you're laying a foundation, Stephanie, for later in life.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a couple of things I was going to say. You were talking about getting down on their level and looking at them in the eye. The quieter your voice gets, the more likely. It's really much more frightening than screaming.
Quiet, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Oh, the only other thing I was going to say is we do do things with our kids at the dinner table every night where we have these questions we ask, and listening is a learned behavior. So the more you sit and talk about the nothingness and listen to their answers, the more likely they are to listen when you're talking at other times. And so just constantly, not always just talking at them, but listening to them in different situations helps, and it builds that rapport.
Giving them that time to share. That's good. You were going to add
I was just going to say, and turn off the TV. Don't expect your child to listen to you when they're watching TV. They go into a zone. You can ask 10 times, and they're not going to hear you. So pause it or turn it off when you really need them to pay attention to you.
Don't expect your husband to listen to you.
Right, absolutely. That's right. That's right.
Now, ladies, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. You can also send the moms a video question. All you have to do is email the video at fox5morningnews@tribune.com. Mr. Martinez, back over to you.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
I know you weren't.
Thank you, ladies.